Alright, welcome back to Flight Sim 2020 and welcome back to the Aerosoft CRJ. This is the CRJ 900 and it's been quite a while since I've flown the CRJ, so I felt like doing a flight in that today. We're parked up here in Durban, so we're at Durban King Shaka in South Africa, where the weather is actually pretty nice. But we're flying down to East London, so we're going to go down to the west along the coast to East London, where the weather supposedly is not so great. So looks like we're in for a bit of an interesting approach into East London. Of course, as always with the CRJ, we're going to be flying with the FS2Crew. So FS2Crew is going to be doing our virtual first officer. And then I'm also going to be flying with SLC, which will do our cabin crew and passengers. So what I actually do is in FS2Crew, I turn off the flight attendant announcements so that FS2Crew is just for the virtual first officer. All the cabin crew and passengers will come from SLC. I think there's a couple of things that the FS2Crew first officer will still come and hand us, load sheets and things like that, which we can't stop. So there might be a little bit of doubling up of some of those announcements and things, or when they come and speak to the flight crew. But anyway, that is the plan for today's flight, and now we just need to jump aboard and start getting things prepped. So I think we'll get power to the aircraft first, and then we'll go ahead and set up SLC so that our passengers can start boarding and things. Okay, so we'll get FS2Crew running. And we'll go ahead and establish power to the aircraft. And while that's happening, I'm going to go into our weight and balance stuff. And also, we want these open shocks in place. We can open up these. We don't need that, but we'll take ground power, and we can leave the service door closed for now. Yeah, so now if we come back up here, we should have ground power available, and we can accept that. Okay, so our first officer is going out to do the walk around, so now we can let's do our weight and balance, and then we'll start setting everything else up. Okay, so I'm just pulling up the Simbrief flight plan on my phone. Okay, so zero fuel weight today is 30.7. And our fuel, we've actually got a bit of extra fuel on board. So I need to double check here. It's actually 6,300. Because this plane was going to go to Cape Town, and then that didn't end up happening. So they'd already loaded the fuel to head down to Cape Town. Now we're going to East London, which is a much shorter flight. So it didn't end up going to Cape Town. So we've actually got an extra ton of fuel compared to what we need for this flight, but it's not the end of the world. So let's go and actually set that. And we'll come back later and pop that into the FMS. Right, let's go through our flows. So nose wheel steering should be off, which it is. Hydraulic pumps should all be off. That's checked. Landing gear lever obviously should be down. Throttles at idle. Just neutralize rudders and things, which is more of a simulator thing. And then we're also going to check the flaps are up. Spoilers, and then we can check that the parking brake is set, which it is.
I'm back from the walk around. All looks good.
Okay, then these are all set. Cool, that's fine. And obviously battery is on, and we're on our ground power. Okay, this isn't the first flight of the day, so we can continue to our safety checklist. Okay, circuit breakers obviously on model in the sim, emergency equipment, same thing. Noise wheel steering we've done, hydraulics we've done, landing gear, all of that's set. Flaps, spoilers, radar is off. Cool. Parking brake is set, and then these guys are checked. So it's the landing gear, the ADG, and then the emergency flaps. Right, since that's done, we can come down here and let's get our flight plan set up. So this is one thing I always do, is move the spoiler and then forget to put it back. So hopefully I can remember to do that this time. Okay, so we're going from Durban King Shaka down to East London, and our route today, we start off at Octan and we'll do our SID later. UQ29 to Etovu. And then direct to Etmont. And that's it, which means we're not actually going to have a star arrival. We'll have to do vectors. Okay, departure runway today 24, and we'll be doing Octan 1 Alpha. And we're going to be landing on runway 29. And it will just be vectors, so that's cool. Right, that's set for now, so then we can go. I'm trying to remember because I've been flying the 737 mostly. Right, let's add this to the FMS, which will populate some of our stuff for us. Cruise altitude obviously is not going to come from tablet. Our cruise altitude today is only 260. If we have to go to our alternate, which is actually Johannesburg, we will go up to 390 apparently. That seems quite high. Alright, I don't think there's anything else we need to set for now. Taxi fuel, we're planning 227. And reserves of 856. Okay, transition out today is not 18,000. It is 5,500. And we'll set that when we prep for our descent. Okay, otherwise that looks good. Flex today, we're going to do 45. Right, and that is all set. We've been through all of this. That's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Okay. Let's start going through our originating check flow. So we need to align the IRSs, which are down here. And we can check that these are set and guarded, which they are. Lights, right. Nav lights can come on. No point turning on the logo lights. It's the middle of the day. Okay, fuel panel, everything is deselected. Bleeds, that's normal, that's auto, that's both. We can probably set this to APU for now. Okay, APU is running, so we can turn on the packs and the air conditioning recirculation. Right, anti-ice is definitely not required today, but we will set these to low. Okay, we don't need to do ice detection tests because it's not the first flight of the day. Then, seatbelts we will turn on, same with no smoking, and we will arm the emergency lights. So seatbelts are on because we're done refueling. Right.
Hi, the security and safety checks are all done. Are you good to start boarding?
Go for it.
Okay.
Okay, so the passengers are going to start boarding, which means we'll fire up SLC as well now. Okay, so they're going to start boarding, so our ground crew and cabin crew and stuff should contact us shortly.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. How are you?
Hi there. I'm very well, thanks.
Great. We're just preparing the cabins for the passengers. We'll speak to the terminal staff once the door is opened and find out how long they think it will be until boarding begins.
No worries. You can open the doors whenever you're ready.
No problem.
Okay, cool. So that's happening. We can set our QNH for today, so let's go and double check. Uh, 1015. Okay, V speeds. So we're off flaps 8. The runway is dry today, so we can have that set for us. This appears to still be aligning. That sounds like the ground crew connecting the mic to the wheel well.
Go ahead. Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please. Clear enough. 4 out of 5. Okay, Captain. Radio check complete. We'll contact you once the ground vehicles arrive and we're ready to start loading. Roger. Hello.
Hi, Captain. Okay, so I've spoken to security and they've started checking in, but there's around another 10 minutes to go before we expect to be seeing any passengers.
Okay, you're free to start boarding whenever you're ready. Let us know when you've started.
No problem.
Okay, so boarding going to start in just under 10 minutes. Right, this is now loaded, so what I'm going to do is we can dial our altitude up to 26, so 26,000. Okay, that's done. I'm going to come down here and we'll set this guy to 1, this to standby. We can click these in and see the yaw damper. And now we should have gotten rid of a few things over here. The other thing that we're going to do is start up the APU. Oh, actually turn these on. We haven't actually started the APU just yet.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We're starting the APU now. Stand by for ground power disconnection in a few minutes. Roger. We'll monitor the startup from down here and let you know if we see anything untoward. Roger.
Okay, while that's starting up, let's do our originating check. Originating check.
Standby.
Ground to cockpit. Go ahead. APU startup seems good.
Maintenance status.
Disconnect ground power, please. Roger. Stand by. Ground power has been disconnected. Roger.
Complete left.
Complete right. Gear pins.
Stowed.
Removed. Hydraulic test.
Complete.
Ice detector test.
Complete.
Stall test.
Complete.
Clock.
Set left. Set and checked.
0759. Set right. CVR test.
Complete.
MLG overheat test.
Complete.
Radar test.
Complete.
Originating check complete.
Are you ready for the brief?
Go ahead.
Okay. The newest weather shows good conditions. We will plan to push and start for a 2-engine taxi. There are no hotspots along our taxi route. It will be a left seat takeoff. Anti-ice is not required and no need for radar today. We'll plan for a reduced thrust takeoff. Prior to V1, any master warning, engine fire or failures, we will abort on the runway. After V1, we will take it flying and fix it in the air and plan to come back here. If all goes well, we've got our clearances filed and planning on an RNAV speed mode, nav mode departure. Our top threat will be complacency. Any questions?
No questions.
Okay, that completes the brief.
Okay, so since we're taking off 2-4, we've got a pretty long taxi. We're not going to do full length. We'll take off from hotel. So we're going to push and start to face right, and then we'll taxi apron, Foxtrot, and then Alpha, and join at intersection hotel.
Go ahead. Hi Captain, just a quick update to let you know that we've started loading. We'll send a final load sheet up once we're ready. Roger.
Okay, we can come up here now and turn these guys on and auto. Now that the APU is running, we'll turn these on. Passenger signs are on. And we'll turn these on as well in preparation for starting up. Okay, so now it's just a case of waiting a couple of minutes for our passengers to board, and then we are ready to shoot out of Durban.
Ground to cockpit. Go ahead. Loading has been completed. We're sending the load sheet up to you now. We'll contact you for pushback once you're closed up and the beacon light is switched on. Roger. Hello.
Hi, Captain. Okay, here's the load sheet from ground. I've written the passenger count here, the crew count here, and the total number of souls, not including yourselves, here.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay, give me a call once you're ready and we'll get underway.
No problem.
Okay, so they're almost done boarding. It's going to be another couple of minutes. So hydraulics we've set. That's all done. We'll turn on the beacon once everyone's on board to let the ground crew know that we're ready to push. The other thing that we need to do is set the landing elevation for East London, which I think is 460 something or 430 something. 435. So this is always kind of interesting in the CRJ because the knob is all the way up here and the reading is down there.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board the self-loading cargo service. Please place your large bags into the overhead locker wheels first and keep your small items
Okay,
under the
440
seat
is
in front of you.
closest.
These include laptops, handbags, duty-free and loose items of clothing. Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag, please take your seat. To help us ensure a prompt departure, we would kindly ask that you keep the aisle clear, enabling all remaining customers to board. Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready for departure. This is a no-smoking service. Thank you for observing this policy.
Okay, your dampers are engaged. Landing elevation is set. I've remembered to put the spoilers back. So let's do our pre-start check. Pre-start check.
Standby. Fuel quantity
Set and checked.
6270 kilograms. Confirmed. Cabin size.
On.
Pressurization.
Set.
Altimeters.
1015. Set left and center.
1015. Set right and cross-checked. Flight instruments.
Set and checked.
Set right. Anti-skid test.
Complete.
Oxygen flow.
Checked left.
Checked right. FMS.
Verify.
Radios.
Set left.
Set right. Takeoff brief.
Complete.
Pre-start check complete.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. Just to let you know that everyone's on board.
Alright, you can close the doors whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'll let the crew know and we'll get closed up as soon as we can. All stations ready to close.
Hey guys, all packs are on board. Are we clear to close?
Clear to close.
Thanks, let me know if you need anything.
Right, now we can prep for engine start. So hydraulics are set. Check that nose wheel steering is off for pushback. And just verify that all the doors are closed. So we'll come down here, check doors, and that's all good. And then we can go ahead and turn on the beacon. And now come and push.
Go ahead. Call me when you require pushback. Actually, we're all set to go now. Feel free to get connected. Roger. Ground tow is connected. Roger.
Engine start check.
APU.
On.
Takeoff data. Set for 36799 kilograms. V speeds are V1 149, VR 149, V2 158, VFTO 207, flaps 8, set right. Trims engage and center. 7.5. Seatbelt shoulder harness.
Go ahead. Just a reminder, if you're using software to track your virtual airline flights, you might want to start it now if you haven't already. Roger.
Check left.
Ground to
Checked
cockpit.
right. Hydraulic
Go ahead.
pumps.
Tow is connected. Release parking brakes when ready to push back. Roger.
Auto and on.
Beacon.
On.
Nose wheel steering.
Off.
Doors.
Closed.
Engine start check complete.
Parking brake is on. We're ready to go. Roger. Tow is attached. Steering pin is inserted. Stand by while we start pushback. Okay, Captain. We're clear of the stand and you're free to start engines. Starting number 2. Roger.
Start engine 2.
Starting engine 2.
Ground. Please push so we're facing right.
All stations, please arm doors.
Please set your parking brake. Parking brake is on. Roger. Stand by. Please keep your parking brake on while we monitor engine startup and disconnect the tow. Roger. Starting number 1. Roger.
Start engine 1.
Engine 2 start complete. Starting engine 1.
Life jackets and brace position, which you must adopt if you hear brace. Brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from a login. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth.
Okay, Captain. Looks like a good startup on all engines and tow is disconnected. Nose wheel is free, so we're good to go. We'll get ourselves disconnected now, so have a safe flight. Look out for the pin on the left, and we'll see you next time.
Mask protects around you.
Thanks very much for your help. Pin on the left, and we'll see you again soon.
When outside, inflate by pulling the top. If it fails to inflate, you need to...
Engine 1 start complete.
There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open and seatbelt fastened. We wish you a pleasant flight, and thank you for flying with self-loading corridor.
Pre-taxi check.
APU.
Set.
Anti-ice. Set. Electrics.
Checked.
Nose wheel steering.
Armed.
Flaps. Flaps 8. Set.
Flaps 8 confirmed.
Flight controls.
Check left.
Checked right. Pre-taxi check complete.
Clear left.
Clear right.
So, actually, on SLC, I forgot to do the welcome announcement. Which is one thing I'd actually like them to change on SLC, is that now would be perfect to do the welcome announcement because we've got a fairly long taxi. So, you know, once we kind of taxi out of the apron here, it'll be nice to be able to do the welcome on board thing now rather than sitting at the gate for extra time before we push back to do it. So it'd be cool if they could add that feature where you can just do it while you're taxiing out. Okay, but here we go. The weather seems pretty chilled around Durban. There's a little bit of cloud out that way. We're going that way. Don't see anything significant, but we're expecting the weather to be fairly rubbish in East London once we get there. In fact, maybe let's just have a little look at what the weather says for East London. Also, we're going to just taxi down to the end where that bus is. We're going down that way. I don't know why there's a bus driving down there, but there is. Okay, weather for East London is reporting IFR 240 at 7 knots, so not super windy, but visibility of only 2,300 meters. Drizzle, mist, few clouds at 400 feet, overcast at 1,300, temperature of 17, so that's going to be fun going in there. Where that bus is going, all the way down the taxiway. There is a little cargo terminal there. Well, I say little, it's only got 3 gates, or it's got like 2 big gates that are split into like a bunch of smaller ones. If you've got like an ATR or a caravan or something, you can fit a bunch of them. But if you've got like I don't know, like an MD-11 or something like that, I don't think the MD-11 you can fly into Durban, but you can only fit 2 of those. It might even be smaller than that. It would be like a 737 cargo. You could probably only fit 3 of those. Right, I nearly took the wrong turn. We're going here to Alpha. And we're going to drive into a bus. Standard. Can't do a video without something driving through. Okay, let's do checklists. Before I take a check to the line.
Flight attendants, take your seat for departure, please. Cabin has been notified. Cross-flow manual. First reverses armed. Takeoff data set for runway 36. RNAV first fix identified. 26,000 100 feet pre-selected.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. Everyone seated and secured for takeoff.
Thank you.
Let me know when you're ready to take off, and I'll get the crew seated and secured.
We're almost ready actually, so you can take your seats now.
No problem. All stations, takeoff position.
Set and checked.
Fuel main control confirmed. Takeoff config.
Checked.
Checked. Full takeoff check to the line complete.
Okay, so we're just about ready to go. We're not taking this taxiway, it's the next one, so we've still got a couple more minutes. Maybe could have left before takeoff check a little bit later. It's quite a crosswind that we're going to deal with here on takeoff. it's actually a little bit of a tailwind. Maybe should have swapped runways. It's not too bad though. Would have made our taxi a lot shorter if we had. Full takeoff check below the line.
Anti-ice.
Set.
CAS.
Checked.
Checked. Full takeoff check below the line complete.
Runway heading check.
Check.
Set thrust.
Thrust set. knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Climb sequence.
Flaps up.
Speed mode, nav mode. Set speed 245. Autopilot on.
Autopilot on.
After takeoff check.
After takeoff check complete.
Wow, okay, so cut it a little bit fine there with the runway, but quite bumpy just after rotate, and even now it's quite choppy, so our SLC passengers are not going to be happy. But in any case, we've done our checks. We're now powering our way out of Durban King Shaka for East London. Okay, there's our transition altitude. And it is starting already to get a little cloudy out in the direction that we are heading. Yeah, very choppy, and I wonder if that's going to be an issue throughout the whole flight, because remember, we're only climbing up to 26,000. Once we pass 10,000 feet, we'll just let the passengers know that it's a bit turbulent, and we'll be leaving the seatbelt signs on a bit longer than usual. I'm coming up to 10,000 feet now. I'm going to pull up Navigraph on my phone as well and just look at turbulence for this flight, or along our flight route at 26,000 feet. Right, that's 10,000 feet, so we can turn off lights.
Cabin crew, you're free to move around the cabin. Good morning once again from the cockpit. I hope all is well with you and you're enjoying flying with us so far. Just a quick broadcast to let you know that we will be keeping the seatbelt signs on for a few more minutes, as there may be some light turbulence as we climb through the clouds. Keep an eye on the overhead panel, and as soon as we're clear I'll turn off the sign and you'll be able to move around the cabin. Thank you.
Set speed 290.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelts fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes cigarettes. In just a few moments we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase from our selection of fresh food available today. All details can be found in your in-flight brochure. You can also purchase a selection of hot beverages together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly. Thank you.
Okay, so quite a bit of turbulence reported throughout South Africa, but most of it is around 11,000 feet and continuing up to about 18,000. So crossing 18,000 here, it looks like we should be okay in terms of turbulence. There's nothing reported at 26,000 where we are. A couple patches over the Drakensberg, and that's about it. So hopefully we'll be okay once we pass about 18,000 feet, because yeah, this is not fun. And it says light turbulence on the chart as well. Can't even click this button. Yeah, that's much worse than light. You're coming up to 17,000. Definitely calm down a bit. So we're coming up to about 18,000 feet. We'll give it a couple more minutes just to make sure. Yeah, lots of cloud towards where we're going. A couple more bumps coming in now. Nothing too serious. flight level 260 is quite low even for this route. Okay, we're scheduled to arrive at 9:40. Yeah, that we're gonna have to do vectors. Okay, we're expecting to arrive in about half an hour in East London, which means we're gonna be about 20 minutes early, it looks like. That's probably gonna extend a bit because we're gonna be vectored around to join the ILS. So for timing wise at this stage, everything kind of looks fine. Alright, I think we can turn off the seatbelt signs now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign, and you are now free to move around the cabin. However, for your safety, we do recommend that you remain seated with your belt fastened at all times during the flight. Thank you.
Good morning once again from the cockpit. I hope all is well with you and you're enjoying flying with us so far. We're currently climbing up to our cruising altitude, so I thought I'd give you a quick update. We're expecting to arrive on time as planned. Progress is going very well.
Right, I'm going to aim to cruise at about 0.76 today. So as we come up to that speed, we'll start just bringing the power back a bit to maintain that. And again, no auto throttles in the CRJ, so we're doing this all manually. Right, now we're just going to cruise on towards East London. Not going to be long now, and then we'll start briefing and setting up for our descent into East London. Okay, so just looked at the weather, it's actually getting worse. So we now have a ceiling of 400 feet. The other thing is, we're going straight in. So, which runway did we pick here? 29, so that's correct. So I'm actually going to remove ECMOD because it goes pretty much past the airport. And from here, we're going to go direct to that waypoint, which gives us our top of descent over there. I don't actually know, somewhere here the CRJ should tell us what time that top of descent is, but I cannot find that. See, it doesn't mention top of descent anywhere. Because we're pretty close. We can tell the cabin we're going to be descending in about 10 minutes. Probably less than that, 5 minutes. I think the maximum we can say to the cabin crew is 10 minutes.
Just to let you know that there's around 10 minutes to go before we start descending.
Thanks.
Good morning once again from the cockpit. I hope all is well with you and you're enjoying flying with us so far. We'll be starting our descent in just a few minutes. The arrival weather forecast isn't look brilliant, so please pay attention to the seatbelt sign on the way down. It may get a little rough as we head down to the runway. We're not expecting any delays, so we should be able to land fairly quickly. Once we do begin descending, please listen carefully to the cabin crew and pay special attention to their instructions and also the seatbelt sign, which I will be illuminating before landing. Thanks for flying with us, and I'll speak to you again soon.
Right, so we're going to go down to 2,000 feet. It's at altitude 2,000.
Are you ready for the arrival brief?
Go ahead.
Our current weather shows marginal weather, and we've got the arrival and approach for guidance in the FMS for descent planning to get down to the airport. It will be an ILS approach. The runway is wet, and we take the first available turn and taxi to the gate as per ATC. Once clear, we can plan to start the APU for the taxi in. Primary threat will be the weather. Any questions?
No questions.
Brief complete.
Right, let's do radios quickly. So, what I'm looking for. Okay. It should be 1145. And our course is, oh no, that's the VOR. Oops, it's 1099. Thought that was kind of high. Our course is 88. No, our course is 289. Where I got 88 from. We'll dial that once we switch over to nav mode. But now it's time to start descending. So let's go speed mode. Okay, I'm going to switch over to vertical speed, and in fact, we need to bring our speed down. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. So we can already start decreasing our speed to get below 250.
Good morning once again from the cockpit. As you may have noticed, we've begun our descent. We should be arriving in around 30 minutes depending on local air traffic, and I will shortly be instructing the cabin crew to get the cabin ready for our arrival. Once that happens, the seatbelt sign will be illuminated and you will be required to stay seated and secured until after landing. If you need to visit the toilet, it may be worth making your way towards one now. You'll next hear from me after landing, so I will wish you a very good morning once again, and I'll speak to you in a short while.
Descent check.
Pressurization set. Fuel check. Altimeters.
Set and checked.
1013. Set right. Landing data. Set for 351 kilograms. Thrust reversers.
Armed.
Lights.
Set.
Seatbelt sign.
On.
Seatbelt and shoulder harness.
Checked left.
Checked right. Approach briefing.
Complete.
Descent check complete.
Okay, so we're pretty much descending and slowing down all together, which is cool. So I'm just looking at the banana thing to see where we're going to hit our 2,000 feet. And as we start slowing down, we can decrease our descent rate as well. I forgot to change our transition altitude, but it's fine. We can just set it now anyway. And it is 1016. Okay, latest weather. Visibility 2,400, a little bit better, but ceiling is 400 feet. So that's significantly worse.
Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
Yeah, we're at idle now, so we'll slow down nicely and bring our altitude down. Just want to make sure we're below 250 knots at 10,000 feet, obviously.
Armrest down and window blind open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets are no longer in service. Thank you.
We can keep slowing our descent rate a bit as we slow down as well. Just trying to keep us around that dot, which is our descent profile. Okay, we're coming through 13,000 feet and we're 270 knots. So I might need to just pop the speed brakes a little bit. It's interesting that they're saying visibility is so low and the ceiling is 400 feet when we can clearly see the ground through this layer, which is much higher than 400 feet, obviously. So we'll see when we get there. Oh, we're actually looking good now in terms of speed. Probably won't need the spoilers here because we're now 12,000 feet and we're approaching 250. So it actually looks pretty good. dial this up to 240 actually. Okay, I'll start adding in a little bit of power back so we can keep that 240 knots. And as we descend, we'll just keep balancing our speed and descent rate. I'm actually going to turn the logo lights on as well, just because the visibility is bad. We want to kind of make it as easy as it possibly can be to see us or any other traffic. And obviously the controllers in the tower as well once we're on the ground. Yeah, that's the other thing I didn't set. Is our decision altitude is 585. So decision height is 200. I don't know why this doesn't show up. It should come up over here. As far as I understand, you should be able to set at any time you're below 15,000 feet. That's kind of weird. Right, we're about to start dipping into the clouds here. Ah, there we go. Just needed to click it. But you've got to do the right click thing to be able to click on it. Okay, so we'll dial this up to 200. Like so. Yeah, and then shortly I'm just going to switch over to heading mode so that we can flip our navigation source to the radio, and then we can check that we are getting our localizer and glide slope. Okay, let's do that now. So we'll go into heading mode. Then we can come down here, flip the nav source to the localizer. And that should be 289. That's set. Right, so we have localizer alive. We have the glide slope alive as well, actually. Course alive.
Roger.
Glide slope alive.
Roger.
Set speed 180. Yeah, we might actually need to use some speed brakes to slow down a bit here. We do have a tailwind as well, which isn't helpful. Because we're still above the glide slope and we need to slow down. Let's get a bit of speed brakes. We can drop this a little. So once we're below 230, we can start introducing flaps as well, which will help us slow down. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Flaps 8.
Flaps 8.
Okay, so normal spoilers.
Cabin crew,
Retracted
please take seats
those.
for
Okay,
landing.
so it is misty and it looks quite rainy in those dark clouds as well. Let's just turn this off a little bit because of this wind. Arm approach. Okay, coming up to that 3,000 feet. Gear down.
Gear down.
Set speed 150. Flaps 30.
Flaps 30.
Flaps 45.
Flaps 45. Before landing check. Landing gear.
Down 3 green.
Spoilers 0. Flaps 45. Before landing check complete. Stabilized.
500 above minimums.
Check.
Autopilot off. $300. 100 above.
Check.
Minimums.
200.
Continue.
Minimums.
Landing.
100. Minimums. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
$90 knots.
Half the landing check.
Until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your self-loading cargo journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter or the official self-loading cargo app. Thank you.
Right, well, welcome to a misty, rainy East London. It wasn't the best landing ever. The touchdown was fine, I think. It's just that we floated a bit. A bit out of practice with the CRJ because I haven't flown it for a long time. When you pull the power off, it kind of wants to stay in the air. I think it's something to do with the engines being at the back. But yeah, pretty intense weather for my first time back in the CRJ after a couple of months. But it's cool. I think it was a decent landing. Touchdown nice and smooth. At least the CRJ, if that was a 737 and we floated that much at East London, that's when you start stressing a bit. At least with the CRJ, we've got some margin for error. Right, we're just going to taxi into the gate now, and then we'll go ahead and shut down. We're about 20 minutes ahead of schedule, which is good. But that is the schedule where the passengers should be done, which means we've got about 20 minutes to get to the gate and have everyone disembarked. So we're pretty much bang on where we need to be. For a moment there, I thought we were going to go around. Got to the 500 above minimums and then 100 above. It wasn't looking great. And then just before minimums, I could actually see the runway. At 100 above, I could see the approach lights. And I was thinking, do we just continue? And just before I called minimums, it's weird that the captain has to read out the radio altimeter calls in the CRJ, because for me, it makes it a lot more difficult because I'm trying to focus on actually flying as well. And I actually need to check because I couldn't see the radio altimeter on the HUD. So there it is there. It says 0 feet. Where does that appear here? It doesn't. Or am I just too high up? That's very weird. So I had to keep looking down there when normally I'm looking here, balance speed and stay on the glide slope. And having it here would have just been perfect. One thing that this does give you when you're taxiing is the ground speed, which is kind of cool. Yeah, let's get it out the way. So we're going in here. Well, not these ones, just on the other side. Yeah, we'll turn the taxi lights off already now. We don't blind the ground crew. Right, sucks for these people. They're gonna have to walk in the rain down to here. Or is it that one? No, that's where you come out. This is the one where you go in. Right, but we can go ahead and shut down. Okay, anti-ice is off. Packs we can leave on while the passengers are disembarking. We'd be doing a return flight anyway, which I'm not going to do in the video. We're going to end it after this. But we can turn off hydraulics. And now we can turn off the beacon lights. And the seatbelt signs.
Go ahead. Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please. Crystal clear. 5 out of 5. Roger. Okay, Captain. Ground power is available. Stand by. We'll start getting you offloaded in a couple of minutes. Roger.
Yeah, I'm not actually going to use ground power. Shutdown check.
Chocks and brakes.
Out and on.
Seatbelt sign.
Off.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Packs.
Set.
Fuel pumps.
Off.
Are you positive? Hydraulic 3A.
Off.
Beacon.
Off.
Nose wheel steering.
Off.
Transponder standby. Shutdown check complete.
Cabin crew, the aircraft is secure. Please open the doors when ready and begin deboarding.
Alright, but there we are, safely parked up at gate 3 here in East London, and it does seem to be clearing up a little. You can see some blue sky through there, or it's just another wave of rain coming over the airport, actually. Looks like what is happening. So touchdown for our landing, minus 85, so not bad. Just that we floated quite a bit, which would be an issue at an airport like this in something like the 737. But in the CRJ, no issues. But anyway, that's going to bring us to the end of this flight and the end of this video. If you made it all the way to this point, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.